Hey, I know, long time, huh? Well, a lot's been going on, so let's just get right into it. I can't remember where I was at with my last video, but let's see. Since then, John and I had moved in together, and he's currently not living here now. We are on something of a break. Relationship post-op is a rough thing. Relationship is fine. It was good. It is good. He's a great guy. I have a lot of issues, and that's not to say that he doesn't. What I found is that I'm very used to being alone, and I felt really kind of suffocated and trapped. So, and it wasn't anything that he did. It was just my own internal feelings and not being used to sharing space and compromising and giving a shit what anybody else thinks, to be honest with you. So, and the big issue, I think, because I know, I'm remembering now my last video, talking about some of the identity issues, and that's kind of, I'm going to get into that. One of the things that, in my case, because of the trauma that happened when I was 23, I've been kind of locked up for a lot of years. In my own head, I had dissociated, I had some memory loss. Really, my only ability to function for many years was to go to work and to take care of my daughter. And I think I really only stayed alive to do those two things. So what happened in the last few years as I've started getting well, and certainly a lot in these last couple of years since I've had the band and been unable to, deflect dealing with the issues that come up, is that, I kind of shut down at 23. It was also the last relationship I was in, and so I don't have any adult experience with relationship, and I'm not entirely sure I want it. I don't know that it's worth the effort, and that's not to say that I don't care and love John very much, or anybody else who may come in or out of my life. It is a matter of what I personally am willing to do. And selfish or not, it's just, I'm just being honest. I don't know if it's worth it or not. I'm fine all by myself, and I think that that's the key. I don't mind living alone. I don't mind being alone. I'm used to that. So I need to work on that. The other thing that comes up is that, I checked out at 23, 24 years old, and for a long time I had the hardest time with the question, like, what do you like to do? When you get, I didn't know. I didn't have an answer because I hadn't been out of the house. I hadn't really interacted much. So one of the things that I'm learning now is, what are those things that I want to do, or that I like to do, or that I enjoy doing? And it's hard to be in relationship with somebody when you're really not sure who you are yourself anymore, or ever were, because I checked out so early in such a young place in my adulthood that, it's like I'm awake. I've been asleep and now I'm awake, and I just don't know. I don't know what's out there that I want to do or that I enjoy doing. And I'm working on that a little bit at a time. I'm finding things. It's not like I'm at a complete loss now, but I still am in the midst of this process of, figuring out what I want to do and who I am and where I go from here and all of that. And it's hard to manage that and be in relationship with another person. And one of the other things that I've noticed is that, I've always had a lot of friends, and there are certain groups of friends that I'm just really not interested in anymore. And there is nothing wrong with them necessarily, but they are not people that if I met today that I would have any interest in at all. And that has been really frustrating for me, because these are people that, I care about, that I've loved for years, that have cared about and loved me for years, and There's just I don't feel like there's any commonality there. And so much of it is with many of these people that I'm speaking about is that all these years have gone by and they're still doing the same things, telling the same stories, living the same life. And I'm not talking about functional lives. Okay, so that bothers me and I don't want to be around it, and that's not the kind of people I want to associate with. So I'm learning now that, my expectation, I guess, for friendship, for the people that I want closest to in my life is and it always has been high as far as who I'm close to. I'm not talking about people that I've been necessarily close to. These are groups of friends that I've associated with, that I have some form of relationship with, but they were never people that I ever would have trusted to be confidants or very close to me. They weren't people that I reached out to in these years when I did make the effort to reach out to somebody, which was very rare anyway. So now I'm slowly but surely kind of weeding through the leftover people in my life too, and figuring out, who's good for me and who's not. And part of a lot of that is that this is all very selfish stuff. It's all about me. It's all about what I want and who I am and where I am going and whether or not people or situations are warranted in my life. And I agree that this needs to be done, and I'm okay with it, but there is that aspect of feeling very selfish and feeling not justified in that selfishness, which is ridiculous because I completely am justified. And even if I'm not, who cares? Like, I care what anybody else thinks. It's my life. So I struggle with that, though, because, one of the issues I think across the board that most of us share with the issues of obesity and stuff is that we don't take care of ourselves. We don't think about what we need or what we want, and we suffer for that. So I'm trying to learn that balance. One of the other issues that came up in my relationship was that is diet, which you wouldn't think would be a really big issue, but it is for me. He is an adult person who has eaten the same way his whole life, which is exactly how I used to eat. It's, whatever you can get in a box that you can fix in the microwave in 10 minutes. It's fast food, anything anybody can shove through a window at you. All prepared stuff, no fresh whole foods, lots of candy. There's always candy everywhere. Sodas, energy drinks, stuff like that. And I am absolutely not one to change anybody else's minds or habits or anything like that. And I'm certainly not going to look at a grown man and tell him, you can't eat that. And, I managed. It was okay, but it's bothersome. It's really bothersome to live with somebody whose diet is completely, when that's such a big issue. Because I've said, I don't pay a lot of attention, and I live alone, so I'm afforded that. When I shop for myself, I know that it doesn't really matter what I pull out of the kitchen to eat that day. It's okay. When I'm with somebody and I've done shopping for two, and I've got to rifle through or open the freezer and see things that I might have wanted before, and it's not even a matter of wanting them. It's not that I'm craving having these things. It's that I don't like them in the house. I don't like the smell of them. I don't like having them here. I do go through periods of time and moods where, it's still an issue, where I would rather get drunk, smoke myself stupid, or, eat myself back to 500 pounds than deal with whatever I'm dealing with. And having that stuff in the house just bothers me. Now, so much of it I can't eat anyway, and if I could eat 2 or 3 bites of it. So it's not like it's necessarily jeopardizing my success to this point, but it's there, and it is bothersome. And if I am alone, and it is my house, and it is only my things, then it's not there, and it's not bothersome, and I don't have to learn to deal with it. So, there it is. So we're on a break for about the next 30 days, and just seeing where things go, and how we feel, how I feel And we'll see. It's all going to work out however it's supposed to, for the best. I know that I needed some time to step back and rethink whether or not this is the appropriate time to be pursuing a relationship of this nature. So, we're okay. We'll work it out one way or the other. And either way, I know we'll still be friends, which gives me a lot of peace. So, wow. So there's my time for that. And I actually have a couple other things, so I think I will just run up another video, and you'll get 2, and then you won't hear from me for a year. No, I'm just kidding. So I hope you guys are all experiencing great success, and I'm going to jump on and do another video, and I will talk to you soon.